YouTube channel. Day 100. Reached 3 digits for 8 December 2022, which was a Thursday. So the day started out 35-minute walk. It was cut short because I got up late that day. So I shaved 10 minutes off the normal time, not the goal, but the normal time. Still got my 5-minute jog in. The goal is to just get on the treadmill. It doesn't matter how much time I spend on it. I normally like to do 45 minutes, but on this day I only did 35 minutes, with 5 of that being inclusive of a 5-minute jog. So then I took my daughter to school. My middle daughter got sick, um, so as soon as I dropped off the youngest, I just had to go right across the street to the high schools. Now my oldest high school student goes to school a bit earlier than her sibling, but um, so I took youngest one to school, and then the older one was like 2 periods in. So um, she came home sick. I was able to get her. The lady was like, "How long will it take for you to get here?" Like 2 minutes. And literally across the street when she had called me. Good thing too, because I would have been even more upset if I had gone all the way back home and then had to come back all the way out there again. So that was pretty good. So then I worked on ACA sales, and this was a pretty eventful day because while I was doing the ACA sales, there's a couple of sales that I had completed, and it was really strange. This company had us putting their information in for this particular state into like what is like a form. So there's no like you're doing it wrong or anything like that. You just fill in these data elements and hope that it's right. Um, and So they had a number of ones that were kicked back. And the concern for me was that, if I couldn't get in contact with these people and I didn't know, what I was doing, these people could potentially not have insurance when they think that they do. So this is an issue that came up before. It was this issue because I was really like worried about this because I had this way this customer had left their voicemail was like, you didn't sign us up, and there's no possible way I can remember every single conversation, but it's like, was this one of those that I had missed? And like at that point I had raised the issue that look, I was going to resign because I don't want to be responsible for somebody not being insured because I don't know what I'm doing. It's like their fault that I don't know what I'm doing. They don't really provide really great training. There's no real template for you to follow. It's just like, get in there and do it. And I guess you can learn that way, but then you can't be upset when people make mistakes, because if you're not there to teach them, then the mistakes are how they learn. So, but I don't like that. I don't want to be stressed out, and I was getting like chest pains and just like panicky and everything. And I understand this is my nature and all that, but it really was too much. It was too much for me. I just could not focus, and I was just getting stressed out. I was not. I was dreading getting on the phone because first of all, I didn't want to be there, and half the time. Then the next thing that I don't like about this is that you know you spend a lot of time doing customer service, transferring people to other departments, because they're going to press whatever number they can to reach somebody, and then they reach the wrong department, and then you got to transfer them. And there's people who have no intention of buying whatsoever, but they still want you to help them. And you really can't say no because they are under the impression that they're calling the health insurance company, when really the health insurance company works in partnership, as they call, with uh, these private insurance companies. So people they think they're calling the major company, and they're not. They're calling um, an independent insurance company. So, you know, it was not it was not WellCare, for example. Okay, it was not WellCare, but people think that they're calling WellCare, and when they call, like, I've got it open, I'm going to sign myself up. There's nothing, you can't help me, but I want you to go point by point over these different plans. Um, I don't get paid for that. I was on the call. I was on the line for like 40 minutes with this woman who was wasting my time. Asking all these questions, thinking that from her perspective, she's not being unreasonable. Um, you know, she's thinking that she's calling the health insurance company, and to some extent, she is because we are representing that brand. But you can't just hang up on them. But I'm not getting paid for it. I'm not getting paid to assist this person. So why am I being? I don't like that. I don't like it. I just don't like it. So speaking of I don't like it, was so going back to this situation more recent is that I had that scare before, and I had first raised the issue of resigning then. I was like, look, I don't want to do this. You know, um, I don't want to be worried about somebody not getting health insurance because of a mistake that I made. Even if it's completely innocent, I just don't want to do that. So back then they reassured me, and then I also had an issue like I didn't want to work shifts. I didn't want to be like locked in to be working. Although it's really funny because I guess it's not funny, but the lady who is the person over me, they're having such a they have more demand, and they really don't have enough agents. That's not a if you get an email from this company, I'm not about to reveal who it is, but if you get an email from one of these companies and they say that they don't have enough agents. That was true. Because one of the calls with the phone thing. I'm looking at the call hold. Because I can see how many calls are in waiting to be answered. At one time there was 36 calls, and there was only one other person from our company answering these 36 calls, and it's just like, and that's most of the time they only had 4 or 5, and maybe when there's 2 people working this thing, then that's fine. But there's like 35 calls on hold, and people are already upset. They're already upset that they've got to wait. And those calls, when people call, they're not over in 2 minutes. If a quick call is like 5 or 10 minutes, and like I said, the lady who has no intention of buying and wants to go point by point, it's taking like 40 minutes. And I'm not getting paid for it. So I only get paid. I only would have gotten paid for enrollments. So, um, and then it came up again. It's like, well, you have to call these people and and talk to them. Well, first of all, I can't get them on the phone. So I'm like, again, I call up. I don't want to call them actually. I like there should be some kind of admin person who that's their job, is to like go and go behind the agents and do what they can to administratively correct the situation, because I only have that access to that form. I don't have access to the site. So I had called up the person that I'm working for, who's my supervisor, and I said, you know what, I don't like this. And she's like, I don't like it either. So I thought about it, and like an hour later after that, I said, you know what, I'm out. Now I don't know, I expect to be paid. I think I have every legal right to be paid for my time, the enrollments that I have, since they're not paying me for time. But, I don't know what's going to happen. So I haven't made a dime with this company. I've been with them from since the 1st of November, on or about the 1st of November is when I started. Um, so I just quit. I just said, you know what? Because this is, I know this is their busiest time right now. This is their hour of need. I know. I apologize about that, but I don't want to do this because like even then it's like okay, so I went from like okay, I'm gonna I got a commitment. I know I'm rambling on a little bit. I got a commitment from um, I got a commitment from the first time that I raised the issue of resigning that I didn't have to work a shift. So that was kind of like, okay, I can keep doing this. And then as the time went on, I'm like, I'm only going to do this, during this open season. After this open season, I'm not going to do this. And then, it just got to me. It's like I have other things I want to do. I want to do, I want to work the solar business. I have books. I have Remote Wellness Academy. So I said after that, like I don't want to call these people back. It's not unreasonable. It's not unreasonable for the insurance company to ask the agents to call them back to fix whatever mistakes that were made. Um, but I thought about it. It's like I don't want it's not right that I don't have enough training. Um, I don't want to be held responsible for making any mistakes, and I got these other things I'd rather be doing. So I just quit. I quit right then and there. So I understand, I effectively immediately resigned, and that was it. And I did quit, and I'll talk about what transpired in later days because I'm making this. I'm 2 days behind now, and I'm normally not. Um, so I'm getting this out as quickly as I can. So I have quit the insurance business. I hope I get paid. I'm going to fight to get paid. Um, but I don't know. I just don't know how that's going to work. I deserve to get something. I mean, it's not like they didn't get any value for my services. They did. Um, I just didn't want to continue with it. So, that's why I have the legal plan to help me with those issues. Um, so then after that, I had a solar customer, both a customer and a business opportunity call. Then I had books. Then I did the dialer setup. I was setting up the auto dialer that comes with the leads. So that was my day. Um, it was a stressful day because I had up and quit, just up and quit. Like after I had that conversation with the supervisor, nothing that she said. I'm not saying that she said anything wrong. She said, I don't like it either. Um, Basically saying, hey, we got to do what we got to do, and I don't want to do that. So um, I'm leaving there with a clear conscience because before I left, I did reach out to maybe like twice to every person that had a kickback. There's only like 3 or 4, but I went out and I had reached out to the best of my ability to fix it. I got one person on the line, got that fixed, um, but now it's back on them. So the 15th is coming up. I'm no longer there. I sent the phone back, and it's on them now. It's completely on them. It's no longer on me because they're fully aware of it. I've made an effort. There's nothing more that I can do, and I'm not going to continue to work for the company. I hope they get their act together. It's not my responsibility to help them. I'm moving on. I'm letting them go. So then, yeah, well, yeah. So that was the day, and then I reached one happy note as I reached the milestone in my daily weighing. I've been weighing myself every day. Some days the weight stays exactly the same. It'll be this number, point this number. I mean, no change at all. Could be like several days, and even though it feels like I didn't eat anything the day before, um, it's always been the same. But these last couple of days, I have dropped a few points, percentage of a pound um, every couple of days because the scale has a scale. So I'm happy to announce that I'm in the 170s in weight, and I am, again, like at that the weight going from day to day, it may be a little bit initially discouraging because it's like it's been like a week and I haven't seen any real losses, and then it might all catch up in the second week. So if you're using an app like Lose It and you're following it diligently, um, it's, you're still gonna lose about a pound a week if you're doing it right. So after 10 weeks, I've lost 10 pounds. I'm on track to lose actually 11 pounds, but we're going into the 11th week. So it's all working, it's all balancing out. So I'm happy about that, that I'm in the 170s, and the clothes are starting to feel, loose, and that's a good problem. I have smaller clothes I can, use when I make that transition. All right, so thanks for watching. I'm just rambling on today, but thanks for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow.